So for the first time on today's show, we're switching to cricket. This is the SportsMax Zone. The first semi-final in the Cricket West Indies Super50 Cup will be contested on Wednesday with defending champions Trinidad and Tobago Red Force taking on Barbados Pride in a day-night affair at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy in Tarouba, Trinidad and Tobago. The Jamaica Scorpions will face the Leeward Islands Hurricanes in the second semi-final at the same venue. That will be happening on Thursday. Now, the round-robin phase of the competition ended on Sunday. The Red Force topped the standings with 63 points, 10 ahead of the Jamaica Scorpions, who edged out the Leewards Hurricanes for second with 53. The Hurricanes had 51 points, followed by the Barbados Pride, who completed the top four with 46 points. Our cricket analyst, Nikhil Uttam-Chandani, joins us to look ahead to the semi-finals. First semi-final, TNT always strong in white ball cricket. Nikhil, as we welcome you to the SportsMax Zone, would they be considered favourites here to beat the Pride?
Yeah, certainly, Lance. I think they're favourites probably to win the entire tournament. And I think we need to give them credit. This has been a transitionary year for them. When you think about no Darren Bravo, there's no Sunil Narain anymore. They've lost that seniority. But I thought, coming into the tournament that it would probably be a year where, looking at their batting lineup and sort of the new faces coming in, where they may struggle, but I want to give them immense credit. I think the way that they have gone about the tournament, first of all, as a batting group, getting new guys to contribute consistently, and then with the ball, seeing new faces emerge like a Carey Peer to support Yannick Carrier. And I thought the Barbados Pride would be their biggest challenge, and they brushed them aside in the last game of the group stages for them. So it was an authoritative win, and they'll take a lot of confidence from that.
Yeah, and if you look at the stats, the individual stats of the season so far, they have top performing players. Django is the leading batter in the tournament so far, and Yannick Carrier is among the leading wicket takers as well. So they've got players on their roster who are producing the performances to help trigger the results they're getting.
Yeah, and that Barbados game where they chased, I think, 239 it was, with, just the one wicket down. It pretty much tells you the story about their top three. When it hasn't been Django, it's been Tion Webster. When it hasn't been Webster, it's been Keon Otley. All three of them are in the top 10 run scorers, and two of them, have got big hundreds, and Webster's got 95. So it really tells you about, I think, the consistency in which they're being able to produce. Not only are they getting 50s like Barbados, who have 9 50s and one single 100 in the tournament, they're also being able to kick on and get hundreds as well as big scores in match-winning causes. I mean, since they were bowled out for 194 in the first game, they've not lost more than 3 wickets in any game of the tournament. So that says it all about their batting lineup.
Yeah, but Nikhil, one of the things about this competition is, it doesn't matter what you do before. It's in these crucial matches that you really have to come up trumps, right? And Barbados as well, they have a lot of match winners, players that have continued to step up. One such player that has done so with the bat is Lenico Boucher. He has a total of 282 runs so far. Kyle Mayers as well has gone about his business. He's been in the stats for his 6-hitting prowess. He's done so throughout the competition, 10 sixes in total so far. So I feel as if Barbados has the, the capacity and the firepower to match this TNT Red Force team.
Yeah, the thing for Barbados is obviously they're going to want to ride Boucher on his confidence, given the way he's gone about the tournament. I think the impressive thing has been the strike rate in which he's scored at. So he's got the 350s. But striking at 95 in the tournament, and he got 81 in less balls than runs the other day against TNT, a very good bowling lineup. So it's about him sort of kicking on. He's doing well in the power play to maximize. Actually, they've lost Kyle Mayers now, who's gone to the T10. So that's going to be a big adjustment for them. But they do add someone like a Roston Chase, who we know has done well in this tournament. And we just saw him be a very impactful option for the West Indies in the ODI series, which they won. So yeah, they lose Mayers. I mean, Trinidad have lost important players as well, De Silva, Anderson, Phillip. But they too have gained Mardea, who I think showed his value in that game against Barbados, picking up 3 wickets and giving them another variation, with his off spin to support Carrier and Peer.
Yeah, and what about the Jamaica Leewards matchup that comes up later on? I think that one also will be very exciting. Jamaica finishing second on the table. Leewards with Justin Graves, of course, doing really well with the bat. I think both teams as well, exciting ones to watch.
Yeah, the thing is now it's two batting lineups that are very inexperienced. You look at Leewards with the absences that they have, and it's a pity that the Test series has come around now because it's robbed these teams of their best players. But there's no Justin Graves, there's no Jamar Hamilton in the Leeward side, and there's no Mikael Louis. And Graves and Louis at the top of the order were, I think, had over 500 runs in the tournament. Obviously, Graves with the 300. So I think that is, you see the inexperience now. They've got three guys in that top five who have not even played 10 list day games. So a lot is going to depend on Raheem Cornwall and also their spin attack. They don't have many pace options. O'Shane Thomas started the tournament well, but has fallen off in the last 4 or so games. So they're going to really need Cornwall to come good with ball. He has the most wickets, but then someone else in that batting lineup to really sort of be extraordinary and do something unexpected. Maybe a Joel Andrew, who we've spoken at length about, to come good in this game. But yeah, Jamaica have a bit more experience, but like the Leewards, haven't got big runs from their top five.
Yeah, Nikhil, I want to get how you feel about the support for the tournament in terms of the crowd support. Have you been disappointed with what you've seen, or is it what you've come to expect?
One thing about you, boy, you just always ask the hard-hitting questions. Well done. I think, look, we have to be realistic here. I do think for the Trinidad games, there were a few night games. Obviously, I didn't have the privilege of being there this year. There were a few evening games that in Trinidad I saw a decent support. I do think, Ricardo, it is disappointing because when I talk to guys like Ian Bishop and Curtly Ambrose, and they speak about when they played the 50-over tournament and how many people turned out to watch this, well, their teams and their local teams, whether it was in Barbados or Jamaica, it's chalk and cheese in comparison. So probably we have to do better as a region, one, to support our cricket, but two, to make it a more attractive product for people to come and watch. But I do admire a team like Trinidad I saw on the social media today trying to make continuous efforts to encourage people to come and watch them. And I remember the final last year where Trinidad won. There was a really good support for them. So hopefully there'll be more of the same in these semifinals.
Yeah, I remember when I was a 12-year-old boy and I was taken to cricket by Andrew Mason and Mark Neater. It was the Red Stripe Bowl at the time, and the semi-final round and the final will be played in Discover Bay St. Anne. And for all three matches, you would have a jam-packed venue. Even a semi-final match that Jamaica was not involved in, that's what you would have. So, and I think, we've said it on this show before that, yes, it is disappointing that we are in a time when regional cricket is being played, when regional 50-over cricket is being played. A lot of quality players are in action, and they are playing to empty stadia. It is not a good look. But Nikhil, what has impressed you most, or who has impressed you most about this regional Super 50 tournament for 2024?
I think the guys probably in terms of the statistics that are the top, obviously someone like Amir Jango. I was really interested to see how he would follow up a 500-plus first-class season earlier this year. And he's showing that he has another gear as well and versatility in his game to be able to come and score runs in the white ball format. And also, I think, for that Trinidad team, as I said at the beginning of the show, I was really interested to see how they would adapt without their senior players, and to see guys like Carrier again for a third straight season be in the wickets. But Carrie Pear, coming off a successful CPL, he is one that's really impressed me. He's always been a bowler with good control, but I think the wicket-taking aspect and his intelligence was on show in this tournament. So, look, Trinidad definitely are right at the top of the list. I think a young Kevin Wickham as well, who we often forget is only 21 years old. That 100 against the Leeward Islands at the Queen's Park Oval was a knot of real maturity and got 100 to win them the game in a tough chase. So there are a few individual performances. Jabor Royale is a young left-arm spinner who I think has really impressed for the last 5 years, really, and is now finally getting that opportunity. And I want to end with Jediah Blades, a left-arm seamer. We know how desperate the West Indies are looking for a left-arm seam option. I think he's been really impressive, getting the ball to swing back into the right-handers.
Yeah, and in 10 seconds, every time I see a West Indies squad being named these days, whether it's 50-over cricket or Test cricket, I see the question, why no Amir Jango? When is he going to get into the side? How close do you think he is?
He's close because it will be him and Imla, I suppose, competing for the same spot in that test squad, and maybe even a Joshua Da Silva as well, his countryman. And if he has one more big red ball season next January, I don't think he's very far away from playing test cricket, especially with his ability against spin.
Yeah. All right, Nikhil, we're going to leave it there. Look forward to these exciting, well, we expect them to be exciting because the tournament has been competitive. So let's see what happens in these two semis. But you're tipping Red Force to win it all. Let's see what happens. Maybe your own Barbados pride may upset your own predictions, Nikhil. But
I didn't make any concrete prediction, Lance. So
well, maybe you should before you leave.
Maybe I shouldn't. Let's just go to the break.
All right, we'll be back to wrap the show after this break. Thanks, Nikhil.